Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which features much more excellent sweater vests instead of excellent songs, as we're hearing behind us right now. We're going to meet the guys in the band, Travis, Troy, and Hogan, and get some songs on the television flip side later this hour. Now, coming up on the holiday season, I expect there's going to be a whole lot of shopping going on, and with that, there's a local shopping movement starting up called Shop the Neighborhood. Bisla's going to find out about how that fits in here in Nanaimo as she chats with Jane Vinette from the Downtown Nanaimo Business Improvement Association. We're also going to meet a tutor. His name is Stefan Bjarnason, and in a conversation with Lewis, we're going to find out how tutoring can help students at any educational level or any point of learning. Actually, I went to a car dealership once, and there was this guy there that told me I needed a tutor, and I said, actually, no, I want a four-door. I need a bigger car, the hatchback. Anyways, we also, speaking of real magic, we got our magic man on the scene, Mr. Michael Berends, with his magic moment for Michael. We're also going to find out about a holiday initiative through Volunteer Nanaimo called the Angel Program. How does that help people? How can you get out there and get involved? Will I ever get that 80s song, Send Me an Angel, out of my head? Probably not. However, Valerie's going to get the answers in the program from Rita, who's with Volunteer Nanaimo. Now, we all know that literacy, the ability to read and write, of course, is very, very important, but also is the ability to plan and manage your finances, which we also call financial literacy. Well, November is Financial Literacy Month, and with that in mind, Brian's going to sit down and talk money, money, money with Investors Group financial consultant Emeka Udeagha. Now, does the challenge of learning a new language and also learning a new alphabet seem to be perhaps somewhat intimidating? Well, Lewis is going to look at it. He's going to sit down and chat about those challenges with language teachers Yan Chin and Irene Lin, who work with the Nanaimo Language and Training School that helps Asian students learn how to speak English, but also English speakers learn how to speak Chinese as well. Stay tuned for that. But first, to kick off the show, we're going to look at the return of a local hip-hop fundraiser, bringing spirited Ryans helping out in the spirit of the time. So drop the needle on the record. The mics are ready to go. You're watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Well, we're here today to talk about an event that's coming up on December 19th, that's Saturday, and it's called Hip Hop's Toys for Tots. And I have with me Tyler Barnes, the coordinator. Tyler, we talked about this time last year about the event. That was your first event.
Yeah, this is our second annual.
Good.
Yeah,
and tell us a little bit about the event. What's it targeted towards? Raising funds and getting toys?
Yeah, we're trying to raise funds within the community and give it back to local families in need, you know, people that wouldn't necessarily have a great Christmas, you know, people that are needy, and yeah, we're just trying to, yeah.
Now, the event, and I'm going to look at the poster here, it's got a number of performers, and they're all going to be at the Canby on December 19th.
Yeah.
What's the time of the event, and what can people do to get involved in it?
Well, I mean, we got, you can buy advance tickets online, found on Facebook, / Hip Hop's Toys for Tots. There'll be links for, yeah, I mean, advance tickets, $20. That's what your minimum donation. We're looking for toys at the door. You can also bring toys in at CHLY on location. We have a box set up there where people can come, you know, drop off at any time if they got some toys they want to donate, or they can just reach us through the Facebook page. They just hit us up with a message if they want to contribute something, or if they have something they'd like to donate to our silent auction.
Good, good. Now, last year you were doing this all by yourself, so now you have some partners involved, and we have here Alexander Reyes, who's with Loud Alive, which is a local label. Tell us a little bit about that.
Loud Alive is a community-based initiative internationally. Now, Loud Alive goes to different communities around the world just to focus on one thing: sustainable development. Now, we're actually here with Hip Hop for Tots this year to make a change in Nanaimo, BC, where most of us live, actually.
Good. And you're performing at the event as well?
Yes, I am performing. I'll be actually performing with Nigeria's own SD, and we'll be performing our new album called Focus.
So it's a great event, a chance to have some exposure for not only local, but actually international artists. And these are all hip-hop artists who are coming to this city on the 19th. Great situation where you have a great cause. Tyler, can you tell us a little bit about what you used the funds and the donations last year?
What we did was I went on to Facebook, and I actually hit up the local free food groups, and I just put out a kind of a PSA saying that anybody that was in need for anybody that was suffering this Christmas sort of thing, I had a bunch of gifts and I'd like to kind of give them out. I had some people send me some messages, kind of went through it and grabbed the ones I figured were most needy, and I kind of distributed amongst everyone. I think I helped out like 9 kids. So 9 kids got some nice little gifts under under the trees for Christmas morning, and I also helped out another family which they lost their house in a fire, and their 2-year-old son got caught in there as well, which didn't make it out, right? So I had a bunch of leftover cash, and I just tossed that over to them and said Merry Christmas, and hopefully that kind of helped, bring a little bit of light to their to the end of their year.
Now, the interesting story is that family is now involved in this year's event to help you get some donations and raise funds for subsequent other well-deserving families and children in this community.
Yeah, they reached out to me just when I started announcing it, sort of, right? They seen that I was doing it again, and they hit me up, and she was saying that, or she just hit me up the other day actually, and mentioned that she's going to have a memorial at the end of the month and take all the donations and donate under his name. And so just to help out and kind of, spread the joy and, just kind of keep it going. And yeah, so I mean, nice little.
And this is a great event. It's sometimes people forget that every part of the community that are entertainers in this community put back into the community. And Alexander, you talk about the fact that there's going to be some great entertainment. This is a great chance for people to make donations, raise funds, and again, that date again is December 19th, Saturday, December 19th at the Canby. You can, doors open at 8 and starts at 9. There's probably over half a dozen entertainers, hip-hop artists, and you'll get them all in one location. Bring some toys, make some donations, make sure you get to that event. Let's throw it over to Bisala, who's got some special guests from downtown.
I'm sure you've heard of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but did you know that there is a day dedicated to shopping locally? My guest, Jane Vinette, is here to talk to us about a concept called Shop the Neighborhood, or otherwise known as #ShopTheHood. Welcome to the show, Jane.
Thank you, Bisala.
So, what does it mean to shop the neighborhood?
Shop the Neighborhood is a national campaign where we are inviting people to shop locally and help our communities thrive.
Okay, so how did the concept start?
The concept began with the Yellow Pages. 2 years ago, they started this campaign. It's a national campaign, and what happens is across Canada on one day, Saturday, November the 28th, they've invited small businesses to offer special promotions on this one day as a way of giving back to the communities that support them and to encourage people to come in and shop locally.
Okay, so why is it important to shop the neighborhood?
Well, small businesses are the backbone of our economy. And when our small businesses are doing well, the rest of our economy follows suit. One of the other things that's so important is in a small community, when you shop locally, a lot of the times the goods are produced here, and it has a ripple effect. So it impacts things like local employment for everyone, not just the retailer, but all of the people who are producing for the retailers as
so
well.
Pretty much it impacts the whole community, so it's something that everybody's going to benefit from.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's a great concept. So before we go on a break, can you just tell us quickly, how can I, as an individual, make Shop the Neighborhood a success?
Okay, well, what we're going to be doing is in downtown Nanaimo on Saturday, November 28th, we have 75 registered businesses who have signed up, and you can either visit our website, DNBIA.ca, or Shop the Neighborhood. And on there, you will find a list of all of the businesses and their deal. And what you can do is you can plan your day downtown and find amazing deals on a lot of local products downtown.
Oh, wow, that's going to be fun. We're going to take a little break right now, and when we come back, we are going to play a game that's kind of like The Price is Right, but I like to call it The Card is Right. We'll be back soon. And now I'm going to throw things over to Louis.
Thank you, Bisala. And tonight my guest is Stefan Bjarnason. I should say perhaps Dr. Bjarnason, have I got that right?
That's true.
Dr. Bjarnason is with, interestingly enough, he's with the Tutor Doctor. Welcome to the show, Stefan, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Lewis.
Now, Tutor Doctor, what is the mandate of Tutor Doctor? What's it all about? Why does it exist?
Well, there's certainly a view that there are education could use some people certainly who are in school could use a little extra help here and there, and we felt that the learning centers were not doing were a little bit awkward at times. You have to bring your children there. You have to sit around in a waiting room reading bad magazines, and then to take them back home again. So we saw an opportunity to bring the tutor to the home rather than bring the child to the tutoring. And so that's what we do. We do one-to-one at-home tutoring. And so the tutor arrives at your door, knocks on the door, comes in, tutors you or your child, and then goes away again.
So it fills a need that wasn't being met before, is what you're saying. Huh?
Well, we think we do a better job.
Yeah.
This way.
So you were telling me there were two guys in Toronto that got this thing started. What was their aha moment that inspired them to start Tutor Doctor?
Well, I think all tutors recognize how amazing one-on-one tutoring really is in terms of a means of learning. You know, I've been a teacher and I've taught at universities and high schools, and there's a real difficulty, there's a frustration about that, because when you're standing in a classroom, you really have to aim for the middle. You know that their students are ahead of you and they're bored because you're going too slow, and there's going to be students that are down below and who are having a little bit of trouble keeping up. Mm-hmm. But the thing about one-on-one tutoring is you can really key to the student. And so the emphasis is how efficient it really is. The 1 hour spent with a one-on-one tutor is so effective compared to working in a classroom, because you don't have to worry about the things that the child doesn't know. You can really kind of leave that alone and work really on the things that the student needs to know.
That sounds awesome. So who are your students? Are they high school students, VIU students? Who are your people?
We do kindergarten through graduate school. We have believe it or not, we have kindergarten kids who are being, sometimes it's language. If their parents want to get them into French immersion, for example, they'll often think that they want to give them a bit of a heads up and get them started so that they go in feeling good. University students, even master's and PhD students, sometimes need some help with dissertation and editing, formatting, and that sort of thing. So we do that whole range, every subject. That said, we do have focuses. I would say that close to half our business is grades 9, 10, 11, 12, and first year math. Math is not something that we do well here. And so we find that there's a real benefit to students who need some help in math. And with one-on-one tutoring, it makes all the difference.
So you were a teacher yourself, and you were a tutor yourself, but now I guess you're kind of a little bit out of the loop in the administrative field. And
well, that's the irony, of course, that I love tutoring, and that's why I got into this business. But of course, now I've gotten so busy with the business that I don't do any more tutoring. But I guess vicariously I can enjoy knowing that all those tutors are out there getting the aha moments that I'm missing. But
I guess there's trade-offs in everything. And who are your teachers?
The tutors are mostly BC certified teachers, although, I say mostly BC certified teachers or people who have at least an undergraduate degree in their subject specialty. So we're lucky here. There's some pretty big-sized universities around in Victoria and Nanaimo, and these are both pretty smallish cities. And so the result is that people who graduate teachers programs often don't want to leave. It's a pretty nice area of the world to hang around. So if you've come away from come to university from some smaller town in central BC, for example, you might want to stick around and try to get a job here after you finish school. And so we find that a lot of those people come to us. And it's great. It gives them an opportunity to practice their craft. And they're not teaching in a classroom like they may want to do, but they're tutoring. So they're teaching. That's the main thing.
That's a big need being filled, obviously. So I guess if people want to get hold of Tutor Doctor, the information will be on the screen, and so they can do that, and you'll help them.
We sure will.
Match them up with the help they need.
Give us a call.
Great. Thanks so much, Stefan. Pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks, Lewis.
Yeah. And now I'm going to throw it over to the Odd Neighbourhood, who's going to do the song "Strange Affair."
set up but unprovided, or so she says. Mind is made up, so I spend my youngest couch there. I grind and teeth, playing on my watch, running out of the pair.
Great stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. The Odd Neighbourhood from the Nanaimo right here. Hogan Smith, Troy Pulaski. Did I get that right? Pulaski? Yeah. Yes, all right. I'm 2 for 2. And Travis Adams going 3 for 3 here on the show on Shock TV. That was a song called The Strange Affair. I'm going to speak a little bit with Travis Adams. Can I call you the principal songwriter, and can I call you the mayor of the Odd Neighbourhood?
I guess that does make sense.
Perfect. Awesome. Let's go with that. Tell us a little bit about that song right there, The Strange Affair.
That was created like last March. I had a bad creative block. I couldn't write anything. I couldn't make anything up, and I just kind of started messing around, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I like this. It's catchy. And then I just made up a bunch of lyrics about coffee and just this big art project of lyrics. And then and then I was like, well, I better get in the studio and record this. So I went with Wayne Viet. He does really good sound, and he has a really nice studio. So I went in there and I tracked it all by myself. It was the first one I did by myself, and it's so far a personal favorite of the group. So, and we love playing it all together. So
yeah. No, it's definitely a very catchy tune, and I know if you look up you guys on YouTube, there's a video that was just put out for that recently, which I was really stoked because near the front there's a clip of the video game Udeagha, which I was really stoked to see. But I also saw in an interview as well. You mentioned the Twilight Zone influences a lot of your writing. So how does that old sci-fi show influence your writing?
Well, I watched it a lot about a year ago, I'd say, and I think I watched it too much. Like, I literally watched like every episode, and I thought there was a lot of cool concepts, like Time Enough at Last episode about the books and all that stuff, and Where Is Everybody? I thought it was a really cool concept. Rod Sterling, he's a mastermind, so I thought, well, if I can incorporate that in what I do, that'd be pretty neat. So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It was neat to see a couple clips there in the video, and again, it's great to hear about that sort of influence on writing here in Nanaimo. The band name, The Odd Neighbourhood.
Yeah.
Is that referred to a specific neighborhood around here? Or?
No, well, kind of. I was walking downtown or not downtown, well, kind of downtown in Nanaimo at about, it was pretty late. It was probably about 12 or 1. And I saw this guy washing his car. And it was literally mid at night and it was raining. And it was the most strange thing I ever saw in my life. And I was like, why are you washing your car so late at night? And then it just clicked. I was like, man, this is an odd neighborhood. And I was like, oh, well, cheers, that works. So you know.
Nice, good stuff. Because I know I also read too, I guess for folks who may have known you guys for a little while, Flipside Cinema is the old name of the band. You're much happier with the new name?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially that it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, I'm seeing some nods and smiles from the rest of the band as well. So, speaking of the rest of the band, you're the one with the mic though, but introduce us to these guys. Tell a little bit about them.
This is Troy Pulaski. I've been jamming with him since, gosh, forever, like years. Had a few other little bands with him. He's great percussionist without a doubt. And then you got Hogan, the undeniable Hogan. I've been jamming with him and messing around with him and on instruments for longer than him, like old grunge bands and just a bunch of noise. And then we kind of all one day collaborated and we're like, well, we like the same music, so we might as well play that same music and see what we can do, right? So.
Yeah, and again, nice job switching from the full drum set to the to the tambourine there. All right, so we got to move on here pretty quick. I'm really stoked to get to some more songs later on, but first, where can folks find more information about the band?
I'm working on a website myself, but we do have Facebook, we have YouTube, Reverb Nation, Twitter, Instagram, everything else basically aside from a website. So that's the next step. But yeah, those are the places you're going to want to look.
Awesome, perfect. All right, well, Hogan, Troy, Travis, again, you guys, thank you very, very much for being here. Check out The Odd Neighbourhood online, and as mentioned, some great videos on YouTube as well. So, all right, we're going to move over here. Again, come back to music later to Mr. Michael Berends, our Magic Moment with Michael segment. I'm going to try to walk backwards and not run him over as he does the horn chorus. So, Michael, there we go. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Good, all right.
Good.
All right.
Welcome to another Magic Moment right here on the show. You coming back?
Yeah, sorry, I should have.
You're just doing your thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, we do a lot of card tricks here, and today I thought we'd do another card trick of all things. This is a little different, though. It's not a full deck. Take a look. It's pretty thin.
I've never been playing with a full deck, so.
I hear that. These are a little odd. I want you to take a look. They're all actually pretty close to the same, except for one. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we have a bunch of cards here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 3 spades. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have 4 more. Let's take a look. Right. There's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. All right. One odd card. This is the 2 of hearts. 2 of hearts. This is a wild card. You ever played poker? Yeah.
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you can use. You can call your wild card. Today we're going to call the 2 of hearts a wild card.
All right.
So it's wild card, and it's a little different than all the other ones. Now watch this. This is the neat part. This is where the magic stuff happens. Watch the 2. So all we're going to do is scoop one of those cards up, give a little spin just like that, and a little squeeze. And if you take a good look. I know, they both change. Or that one changes. Here, we'll try that again. We'll try another 2 of hearts. Remember I said it's wild. It can be any card that you want when you're playing poker. We'll do that again. Here's number 3. And one last one. Here we go. Just give it a little squeeze, a little spin, and guess what? There we go. That's not bad, huh?
That's what?
Well, we still have a few other ones left. Now watch these really, really close. Watch down here. Here we go. We're gonna take this 3 and this 2. We're just gonna give them a spin, and that's it. I want you to take a good look. There's another one. Here, we'll do that again. There's another one, Matt. You ready? They get better and better and better. Here you go. I know. 3 of spades. One last one to go. There's that one. And here's the last one. Take a look. And that's it, Matt. That is something that we call wild card.
Stuff, it never makes any sense, but that's what's just magical about it. Ladies, one more time, Michael Berends, your Magic Moment with Michael. That is, wow. Off he goes once again, just happy with another day's work. Amazing stuff. You are watching the show right here on Shaw TV. Great stuff as always there from Michael Berends. So far on the show, we've learned about the Hip Hop Toys for Tots fundraiser. We've talked about shopping local and in association here in Nanaimo with the Downtown Nanaimo Business Improvement Association. We've met our tutor here, Stefan Bjarnason, and our musical guests right beside me there, The Odd Neighbourhood. And again, as you just saw, wowed by Michael Berends with his Magic Moment with Michael segment. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, we are going to talk about financial literacy as part of Financial Literacy Month with Emeka Udeagha of Investors Group. We're going to learn about a valuable Nanaimo organization helping with some very difficult language lessons, and of course, as mentioned, some more music from the Odd Neighbourhood as well. But right now, I'm going to throw things over to Valerie, who is a bit of an angel in her own right, and I should probably get her a t-shirt that says "I'm with Cupid" on it. I'm with Cupid. See, people know the old t-shirts, they know what I'm talking about. To find out more about this particular angelic program through Volunteer Nanaimo, Valerie, let's throw it over to you.
Hi. Christmas is fast approaching, and for many families in Nanaimo, there's Christmas angels. I'm lucky to have one of our angels here today, Rita from Volunteer Nanaimo.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi,
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Rita, tell us a little bit about the Angel Program.
So the Angel Program, it was an idea our executive director had this idea about 6 years ago to try to match volunteers that were interested in helping families with the families directly. So it started out pretty small, but we've been growing progressively bigger. We went from 65 up to 305 last year that we helped. So we're really proud of that. So this year we're doing it again. And we have so many families. I was speaking to one of the counselors at one of the schools, and they had 50 families in that school alone that needed help, that they wanted to be able to help, which, I mean, there's a lot of different organizations in town that are doing similar things. With our Angel Program, if you want to be an angel, you just give us a call, and we'll match you either with a small family, a large family, a senior, perhaps an individual. We have families that we actually break up among several angels if it's a larger family, just to make sure that they have a really great Christmas. And our angels come in all shapes and sizes. So this year we were really blessed, and I feel blessed. We actually have a 10-year-old who saved her money this summer. She did some violin playing and buskering, and saved up over $250, and she's doing a family on her own. So that's pretty incredible. But we also have a lot of corporate donors as well. Smitty's has just opened their new location at Rock City, and they gave the whole weekend of tips to the program, made a huge donation to the program, and that's really great because we get a lot of families really close to Christmas, and we can't really match them with angels, so that gives us funds so that we can actually go out and shop for the families ourselves. And we have tremendous support from the schools, from the agencies that help us to vet the families, to find the families that are really in need. And those are some really hardworking people in some of those schools, so we're really, really pleased to have them.
How would a corporate sponsor work?
Well, we have a lot of different companies in the city that, as an office, will take on a family.
Oh.
So it's really not a great hardship for any one particular person, and everybody can sort of do something and really make someone's Christmas really terrific. So we had, Coast Capital Savings did it, Island Timberlands, Midland Tools, just different organizations. But we're also, Volunteer Nanaimo is a charitable foundation. We're a registered charity, so if you wanted to just make a donation, you could get a tax receipt for that. None of them ever asked for it, but that is available to them. If they don't want to do the shopping and just want to send us some money, that's great. You can just go to our website and check out the events, and that's where you'll find out the information on the Christmas Angel Program.
Who would do the shopping in that case?
If we were doing it ourselves, I think I would like to do that. And I would shop local.
You're such an angel.
Well, I think the people that really know me would know my true wings are very tarnished compared to these. But I just want to say thank you to Cindy, one of our office volunteers, who made this costume for me when she heard I was coming, didn't want me to come out and just be drab in my usual office clothes. So that's why I look like an angel today. I don't normally.
So again, if people wanted to get involved, how would they do that?
So you can call the office, the Volunteer Nanaimo. It's 250-758-7121, and we'll be able to give you information. If you want to just email us, it's vn.admin@shaw.ca. Yay! And check out the website again, www.volunteernanaimo.ca.
Well, thank you very much for being with us, and I hope your wings take you off to a very wonderful Christmas.
Oh, thanks very much for having me.
Cheers. And now we have the Odd Neighbourhood going to play Saturn. 1
2, 3, 4. When you fall asleep to the television and your mind is strung out so deprived, got a clean shave, not such a clean slate, you're gonna enter Saturn tonight. Maybe one day we will say we were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were. With your political girlfriend in subliminal world, and your fake friends that follow cool trends, they're not real. Well, I guess that depends. And maybe one day we will say we were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were. We all have fears, the big or small, the short or tall. We face them all every day, every way. Every day, every way. Maybe one day we will say we were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were young. We were crazy when we were. And when you fall asleep to the television,
Once again, that's the Odd Neighborhood. I'm here today with Emeka, Udeagha, who is a financial consultant here in Nanaimo, and we're going to talk about financial literacy. And I guess November is Financial Literacy Month. Can you tell us, Emeka, what's involved in Financial Literacy Month?
Well, thanks for having me on the show. Financial Literacy Month basically is supposed to encourage individuals and organizations to sort of either take part or host an activity that encourages financial literacy in Canadians. So it's actually in its 5th year. It started in 2011, and in 2012, the Parliament of Canada actually proclaimed November as an official month in Canada to host a Financial Literacy Month.
Okay, so when we talk about financial literacy, why is that important for Canadians and for people in Nanaimo?
Well, in general, it's important for individuals as well as the economy. Currently, right now, for every $1 a Canadian makes, they're $1.6 in debt. So, I mean, it's actually increasing at a very alarming rate. So the ability to be able to be in control of your finances, to know what's going on with your finances, to know how to better manage debt and save properly for the future, I think it's key in any economy.
And it doesn't matter what your age. And you told me earlier when we were talking that it's important for whether it be 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, or 50-year-olds.
Everyone needs a financial plan, regardless of what your age and demographic is. You know, so a typical 25-year-old, their areas of concern would be paying down debt. You know, I'm out of school, how do I get out of debt? You look at someone who's in their 30s, well, now they're done with paying down debt, but now they buy a house or they have a kid. So, you know, now you're maybe thinking in the line of investing and saving for the future. Typical Canadian who's in their 50s, well, now the kids are out of the house, you're mortgage free, but now you know the clock is ticking. You've got 10 years to retirement. And then you've got those who are in retirement. Well, now you're not sort of bothered about investments and insurance and all that stuff, but you're more thinking in the line of managing and preserving your wealth. So, how do I ensure that I don't run out of money before I pass away?
Good. There's a number of stories in the media about people who put money into the hands of financial planners, financial consultants, and sometimes that money doesn't stay there. It disappears, or someone goes off with it, and through fraudulent means, they've lost their life savings. How can people take some safeguards to prevent that?
What I always say is there's two things I always encourage people to look at. First of all, I'll take a step back. The financial industry as a whole, we've sort of had that bad reputation, as if you want to call it, where before I even talk to you, if you know I'm a financial advisor, you sort of put that wall between the both of us. I find even more education is, more education is done as opposed to selling. It sort of reduces that wall between advisors and people they come in contact with. Now, going back to your question, the two main things I encourage people to actually focus on is you want to research the company that you're working with. How long have they been in existence? What's the history behind the company? And then again, you want to look at the advisor. What educational backgrounds they have, how competent they, ask for references, find out who they've worked with in town, how many professionals in town do they work with, and I think basically if you can manage those two factors properly, your chances of getting in a bad position is limited.
So this Financial Literacy Month, is there some events that are happening that people can get involved in to become more aware?
So the Canadian Financial Literacy database actually has a database where you can go there and find where different events happening across the province. But here in town, I'm working with a few professionals. So on the 18th, on the 19th, as a matter of fact, we've got a seminar for business owners at 7 a.m. at the community features. And then we've also got one open to the public in the evening. And then we have another one on the 5th at 6 p.m.
Good. Well, we're running out of time, so let's have people make sure you contact. If you have questions about that, contact you, Emeka. And there is also on the screen a website or an email address, so people can find out more information about this financial literacy. It's important to you, your family. Get involved. Let's head it over to Lewis.
Thank you, Brian. Well, the Chinese culture has played a great role in Nanaimo's history pretty much since day one. From the days of the coal mines to the ongoing businesses that Chinese people have started and run to the present time, the Chinese culture has played a great deal of importance in the building up of this community. And I have with me two ladies tonight. I've got Irene Lin and Yan Chin. Welcome, ladies, to the show. Good of you to join me. Now, Irene, you're the proprietor and actually the founder of Sino.ca. It's all about teaching English, to Chinese people and Chinese to English people. Can you tell me your story, how you started this company and how it's going today?
Okay, so 3 years ago, I arrived in Canada looking for some business opportunity. So as an immigrant investor, I was supposed to buy an existing business. However, after doing some investigation, I couldn't possibly find some business which I really interested in. So I decided I'd start my own business from scratch. So finally, I came up with the idea of setting up a language training center aimed at the small community of the international students from China here in Nanaimo. So, many of the international students, they are away from their real family. So it's find themselves overwhelmed. So it's a big challenge. It's a new environment, new country. It's too much for them. So I hope my company could work to help them in some way to improve their language ability and cultural awareness. Yeah.
It's important work. Yeah, it's very important. People come from a different culture. They're like fish out of water. Anything that will help them feel at home and function is very, very important. And,
yeah, that's a big challenge for the international
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Jan, you're one of the teachers at Sino.ca. Now, these students that you work with, they face a lot of challenges. Can you talk a bit about the challenges that these students face, both linguistically, academically, and just everyday life here? How do they deal with that?
Even though many Chinese students have learned some English before they came to Canada, but they have a very big challenge. I believe they will find big challenge at school, and when they deal with day-to-day life in a homestay family. At school, they are supposed to, because many things are conducted in lectures, so they are supposed to listen, to write, and at the same time comprehend what the teacher are talking about. This is a very difficult part for Chinese students, and if a student wants to be accepted by any decent university in Canada, they have to take part in the IELTS test, which is a language assessment system set up for students speaking English as a second language. Typically, a score of 7 is needed in order to enter any program in any Canadian university. This is I think it's really difficult for Chinese students. And in their daily life, they have, for example, homestay issue. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the homestay students say about a lot of
homestay issue to deal with. Sometimes homestay families would think that Chinese students are pretty difficult to deal with because in general they are very quiet and shy. But I think it is true, especially when you are still struggling with language. You could be especially shy and quiet. But I think Chinese students would welcome any kind of help to help them overcome the difficulties in daily life. And I also think Chinese students should to be more open-minded, more flexible, and try to new things.
It sounds like you both are doing some excellent work there and really paving the path for these students in a difficult situation. And I really want to thank you both for coming on and congratulate you for the work you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to throw it over to, who am I throwing it over to? Udeagha. And who's got a demo to do?
Thank you very much. Welcome back, and I'm still here with Jane, and we're going to continue talking about #ShopTheHood. So Jane has a game for me to play. It's kind of like The Price is Right, but it's I call it The Card is Right. So what do I have to do, Jane?
What I'd like you to do, Bisla, is try and match up the names of these businesses with some of these delightful products that we brought in today from some of the participating businesses in Shop the Neighborhood.
Okay.
So the first one is the Children's Tree House, which is on Commercial Street in downtown Nanaimo.
This is easy. I'll say that one.
Okay. I've got Space Age Bachelor Pad, which is located on the China Steps downtown.
Space Age Bachelor Pad, I'll say those over there, that one over there. Yes.
You're doing awesome.
Yes.
Patina Home, 99 Commercial Street.
Okay, this should be easy. This one, right there.
Okay. Wonderful Store, Catwalk, 13 Commercial Street.
Easy. The blue shoes.
Yeah. We've got a wonderful new store in the Old City Quarter called Coastal 66.
Ooh, okay. I would say this one.
And finally, NYLA Fresh Thread, 206 Commercial Street.
This is easy. Ta-da!
Well, I'm happy to tell you that you got almost all of them right.
Yay!
The only ones that we need to switch around are actually at the end. The Coastal 66 is a garden art store in the Old City Quarter. And what you see here is some of the Christmas products that you can get to put in front of your garden, or put in your garden, or in front of your home for Christmas time.
So like this? Yeah. And like that?
There you go.
Yay, I got it!
So Patina Home is a home decor store downtown, specializing in Annie Sloan chalk paint products.
Okay.
You know, you can do all kinds of wonderful things with these products for Christmas. You can buy some of the soft wax and the paint, the little sample sizes that you can start a project, and you can do some things like that beautiful Christmas signage that we have right there. And of course, as a lot of people already know, these T-shirts are the epitome of a local Nanaimo product.
Yes.
NYLA Fresh Thread menswear store is he has amazing local T-shirts and obviously other fancy clothes. Sometimes you want to dress up for Christmas, right? You've got some great bow ties, some pretty slick socks for men. So unfortunately not for us, but those ones are for the gentlemen in our lives. Oh, but it suits you, lovely.
I know, I look good in that.
Here we have a really cool little bicycle that's only available at the Children's Treehouse in Nanaimo. And what's really slick about this product is that you can change it out and turn it into a two-wheeler.
Oh, so, that's great.
Yeah, so if you have a little one that you want to surprise this holiday season, I think it's great. Obviously, the Fluvogs are from Catwalk. And finally is this really cool, if you have someone who you just don't know what to buy for, you want to check out the Space Age Bachelor Pad on the China Steps.
Okay, can you tell us quickly again, are there other businesses participating in Shop the Neighborhood?
We have 75 businesses taking part. We have everything from bakeries and restaurants, printing businesses, all kinds of retail stores, as you see. So there's really a deal for everybody at Shop the Neighborhood.
Okay, so one last question. I kind of felt like we glossed over this the last time. As a person, what can I do to help with a Shop the Neighborhood concept? What can I do?
Well, you can make a commitment to do some of your shopping locally in downtown Nanaimo. Visit some of these small businesses and help our downtown community thrive.
Okay, and is there there's something about a pledge, about taking a pledge to shop?
Yeah, so if you check out our Facebook page, you'll see we've had a lot of people taking the pledge around Nanaimo, and they're pledging to shop their neighborhood, and it's wonderful to have this kind of support in our community.
Okay, thank you very much for coming on the show, Jen. Well, you heard her. You have a role to play in boosting local economy, so please keep local businesses in mind when you are doing your ho-ho-ho holiday shopping. Matt?
I saw this here. I don't know. It looked like I thought it said oh, like oh, it's time to go shopping. Oh, woohoo! No, did I get that wrong? Merry Christmas. All right, that's much better. Thank you, Bisla. You should be my language teacher from the looks of things. Exactly. And Jane, thank you so much for being here as well.
Thank you.
I have to say, I mean, honestly, like I have friends who work in businesses all throughout Nanaimo, but I got to say, when it comes to Christmas shopping for a couple of years now, I've just gone downtown. I've just sort of wandered around stress-free, got some amazing local stuff, and so, I mean, just great to see this initiative happening again. The more great stuff we have for our downtown Nanaimo retailers, the better. So thank you so much for all of your work as well.
Thank you very much.
Great. All right. So, and I got to say, well, now as we move a little bit toward the end of the program, I do want to give a shout out for what I'm about to say. You kind of need to know a little bit about downtown Nanaimo, hence the tie-in right here with what I'm going to say. So, one of the nice things about doing a show here on community television is there's not really any ads or very few ads. You know, the show just doesn't devolve into like commercial street. All right, so you know, I'm really Mac Leary of those shows that just have ads over and over again. You know, sell before anything else, sell before anything else. You know, I love this town. I love this town a lot. It's a tourism town, a coal town, a mill town. Milton. Actually, speaking of the retailers, there's many retailers in downtown Nanaimo who just sell some amazing clothes. They're fit for the British royal family, as far as I'm concerned. But really, we already know what sort of clothes can fit Prince Harry. But what fits William? What fits William? Honestly though, don't spend all your money on holiday purchases. You have to do, give some charitable donations, like to those Salvation Army jingle pots, right? or I guess they're sort of more like kettles. The first time the kettle called the pot back there. Just make sure though, as Elmer Fudd likes to say, make sure you can make your Went. Hey Raymond, what's your Wentworth?
My Wentworth?
What's your Wentworth? Yeah. So never mind. Moving along. It's probably more than a nickel. Anyways. Okay. Oh, I probably deserve that. Thrown in the hat. Actually, I remember back in the old days when I had no money. That was sort of my pre-dough era. My pre-dough era. All right. So anyways, now before I get disciplined here by Principal Skinner, I better get the heck out of here of this bastion of television. Thank you so much for watching the show on Shaw TV. Thank you to our guests, hosts, volunteers behind the cameras and in front of the scenes. You can find the show actually on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. You can find previous episodes of The Shaw on our Facebook page and also on YouTube. You can search for the Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island page. And hey, if you want to be a guest here on the show, just drop a line to our executive producer, Kate Bergen. Sorry, Kate, I know you're around here. You can throw something at me as well. Kate.bergen@sjrb.ca. And the reason I bring up Melissa, because if you want to be a volunteer on the show, that's who you got to get a hold of, melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. A huge thank you to our good friends at Mambo's for sponsoring the show. And to finish off, one more song from our friends behind me, the Odd Neighbourhood, a track called Kicks and Emotions. Thank you again for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
A lot better just to say I am kicked out, vanished, and I know I'm going through. My heart races with no fear in my shoes. I'll be gone from this small town very soon. Catch a fence with my bicycle hands, and I run faster than I ever have before. Saying, don't wait for me. Don't wait for me. Yeah. Don't wait for me. We got the modern train that's self-down, and after all the get the sun with such wealth, you will get to know me better than I've ever known myself. Saying don't wait for me, yeah. Don't wait